Yeah, I think we can get started. We have
Yes.
12 participants. We have some quorum here.
Sorry?
We have 12 participants. We have a decent number. We can get started right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome everyone to this session. So I'm very glad and proud and privileged to have Nandini with us today. So she's handled a couple of sessions for our SDC regional conference earlier, and she has very gladly accepted to handle one more session for us today. And I'm sure we are all very keen and very curious and very, all our antennas are out, waiting to listen to how to write, how to do this killer resume. So Nandini, the floor is all yours,
Yeah.
and we're all very eager to know how to better our resumes.
Yes. First of all, thank you to STC for inviting me over in the month of February. I guess it was the February end, I suppose, when I presented my first um, workshop or whatever that was, just a 2-hour session. And after that, I mean, I'm so grateful because things really changed after that for the better. And now workshops are like continuous. I'm doing like webinars after webinars after, and it's not stopping. So that was my, literally, I can say, the turning point for me. So very grateful to Gayatri for this opportunity, because I found her somewhere. I mean, she found me somewhere on LinkedIn, and we connected. And thank you, Gayatri, for that. And welcome. I'll just name all of you. Okay, as a ritual, I do it for all of my webinars. Welcome Gayatri, welcome Anagha, welcome 9452, welcome Janu, welcome Kiranmai, welcome Mahalakshmi, Monica, Mugdha, Reva, Ruchi, Sadhana, Soumya, Stylish. Okay, so the thing is, thank you for taking out the time and coming here. Just to introduce myself first, because that is not a part of the mind map anyway. So I run a company called Talent Canvas. I'm a sole proprietor basically, and initially when I started the company, it was a recruitment agency based out of the Middle East, and then I turned it into a completely writing, marketing, and advertising agency. So website designing was a part of it, but not exactly. Not exactly website designing, but more of you can say writing, marketing, advertising. These three were the primary verticals. And from 2015 onwards, I started also doing the webinars and some kind of teaching in the online space. So now it's primarily into digital learning, advertising, and branding. So it has evolved over a period of time, and obviously I have also evolved as a person over a period of time. And as the digital platforms keep evolving, keep changing. So even the resume writing process or the LinkedIn profile writing process, these two are two of the primary things that I've done. I've been doing from since the year 2012. So I've written more than 1,000 plus resumes, more than 1,000 plus LinkedIn profiles. So initially I was, very active on platforms like Freelancer and Upwork, and then I turned it into a complete product for my company. And now I sell these as products. These are just two of the products. Apart from this, there is also digital, marketing and digital advertising, digital learning. Now I also have an online school. So like a lot of things, happening simultaneously. So thank you for taking out the time. And, as much as possible, this, whatever curriculum or syllabus that I'm going to be sharing here, all of this is based on the current situation. Okay. Certain things I've not gone too deep into it because it will confuse you more, but all that you need to know to edit and modify your own resume is something that I'm covering. What works in the market, what has been my experience in the market, is what I'm covering. So you may have different perspectives. If there is anybody here who's already, like, say, a resume writer, you may have a completely different perspective on this, and you may have come across different types of resumes. And then, if you're a recruiter, if you're an HR manager, HR director, you may have different perspectives altogether. But on the whole, whenever I have delivered CVs based on this particular strategy, okay, it has worked for me and for my clients. Basically, I'll just I think some settings have to change once again. I can't see that. I wanted to switch off the sounds. Is it possible from your end, Gayatri? No, I guess.
Nandini, you could just mute all participants.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm muting participants upon entry, and I'm not allowing participants to unmute themselves, okay, for the time being. Maybe towards the end we can do that and play enter exit chimes. Okay, no. Fine. So now I'll be sharing
type out their questions in the chat window, and I'll keep track of that.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So,
thank you, Nandini.
Yeah. Okay, Soumya is asking whether there's going to be a recording of this. So we are recording it. So what is the idea, Gayatri? You're going to send out the recording, or how does it work? Oh, I have to unmute you. 1 second. 1 second. 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
can you hear? Yeah. Okay. So a couple of people have expressed interest in joining the meeting, so they've made the registration, but they're
Yeah.
unable to join us today, or they'll probably not be able to attend the whole of the session.
Yeah.
So we'll be passing on the recording to select
Yeah.
participants. Yeah.
Perfect. No problem. And I will also be reusing this recording. You're okay with that, right? Reusing
Reusing
means I'm not going to put all your pictures there, but whatever I'm teaching, keeping the mind map.
maybe we could connect offline, Nandini.
Yeah, this is going to be reused. Okay, I'll connect with you on that. So nonetheless, okay. So I'll just start with the session. I'll be sharing the mind map. Okay, let me know if it's visible in the comments. Yeah, is this visible? Yeah, okay. I'm audible as well, right? Please type audible in the comments. Perfect. Okay, good. So, I'm going to start from the very core of what is a resume primarily. Many people don't understand what exactly is a resume, what is a CV, what is a LinkedIn profile, the difference between all of this. So, the first and foremost thing is that a resume is a document primarily. Okay, it's an MS Word document, or you can call it a PDF document. There can be an online resume which can be in the form of LinkedIn, or it can be in the form of website, whatever. But according to current norms in the industry, resume is a document primarily, which is sent out to recruiters or employers for someone to find a job primarily, or it can also be used to establish yourself or network. Okay, 1 second. Is it better now, Gayatri, the sound? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it is a statement of skills, experience, education, and accolades of an individual. Okay, so resume is a complete statement of who you are. Okay, you have to understand one thing, that going by an online template or going by some kind of a template which someone else has given you, or something known as the ATS these days, the applicant tracking system, that is a very superfluous way of going about after a resume. Okay, and especially if you're a writer, if you want to provide services to others. Okay, see, one thing is developing your own resume for your own self. The other thing is, if you want to start a business around resume writing, why I'm talking about this is because I help people become digital entrepreneurs. Okay, I help them take that up as a profession primarily. So if that is something for which you are attending this, okay, I will be talking about a few factors that you need to go deeper into before really starting as a resume writer in the online space and providing freelance services to others. Okay, so I think there is some disturbance. Someone's has to unmute. Sorry, someone has to mute. Yeah, all of you please mute. Although I have disabled you to unmute yourself, but I don't know how. Okay, so it is a statement of skills, experience, education, and accolades of an individual, and it denotes their career journey from start to finish, also including their educational days, achievements, and co-curricular activities. So your resume is your personal statement. Okay, it is not just your professional statement, it is your personal statement. You need to understand one thing, that when we talk about corporate companies, okay, so-called corporate companies, okay, we want to call ourselves like we project ourselves as different people in the office and different people at home. But you have to understand that as an individual, you are whole. You cannot be a different person in the office, and you cannot be a different person at home. And if you have been behaving like that, that is what is called that is what will create more stress for you. Okay, so this is the ideal situation to get into a stress stage, and then you end up looking for another job, or you get burnt out at your present job, and so on. So in order to avoid that, starting right from your resume, make sure that your personality is coming out in that resume. That's very important. So it is not just a statement of skills, experience, education, and accolades, but it's also a statement of your uniqueness, of who you are as a person. Okay, what are your pros and cons, what are your strengths and weaknesses, all of that has to come in your resume. And for that, you will have to work in understanding your own self first. That's the first step. Even before starting your resume, okay, do some homework about who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the highlights that you want to, really bring about in the resume? Maybe that may be centered around the present job that you're in. But the point is, the highlight has to be your own strengths that needs to come out, and kind of extrapolating your weaknesses in such a manner that also gets projected as strengths. So primarily it denotes their career journey from start to finish, also including the education days, achievements, co-curricular. Okay, it is a statement of their individuality. Okay, let me say it's a statement of your individuality, technically expressed using the appropriate words as well as keywords. Now, the resume is a technical document. It is not like like a LinkedIn profile wherein you have an algorithm which is going to which is entirely different. It works on algorithms. There's a summary, then there are role sections, and each one of them has different descriptions. And this is nothing like that. When you're actually writing a resume, it's more of a technical document. But again, the uniqueness has to come out, and then there are many other important factors that has to come out through your resume. So it is a statement of your individuality again. So you are unique, and never compare your resume with others. Like many people, when they come to me, they'll come to me saying, I have this template already with me, create one like this for me. So the point is, only the format and only the design can be copied, but the content should never be copied from someone else. One. Two, even the language, even the kind of words they have used, even the keywords should never be copied from anyone else. Okay, so keep this as a principle always if you really want to establish your profile in the long run. So another thing, resume is a limited document. Okay, resume is limited when you compare it with LinkedIn, because on a platform like LinkedIn or Facebook, it's like an online platform. It gives you ample space for presenting yourself in many colorful ways. But a resume is a technical document, and it has to be properly used in terms of words and keywords. So what are words? When I'm talking about words, I'm talking about the professional phrases, the professional terms that you're using on the resume. When I'm talking about keywords, keywords primarily means these are terms that are being searched by recruiters across platforms. Sorry, for example, LinkedIn or Google or Bing or all these search engines. So when you're writing your resume, it has to be a combination of the appropriate words and the appropriate keywords. So both of these have to be there. And this factor is as important as expressing your individuality and your, monetary or measurable achievements. Okay, measurable achievement. I will come to that. I'll be explaining it in the forthcoming, forthcoming mind maps. But the point is, when you're expressing that, make sure the words and the keywords you choose to present there have to be unique, have to be searched. Those words have to be those keywords or words have to be the words that people are searching for, and these keywords should be appropriate. They should express the exact meaning of what you're trying to express. It should not have double meanings, basically. So that is also very important. So it's a technical document primarily. It has limitations. Nonetheless, it's a very important document because it's a statement of, again, who you are. So how technically you're going to present yourself. That is a challenge when it comes to a resume. Okay, so primarily we can say it's a document that must be compliant with ATS. That is also required in today's scenario. Why? Because ATS is the applicant tracking system, which is used by websites like Naukri, Monster, all of this across the world. There are like plenty of online platforms, and all of them have a different ATS format. Please remember this. The ATS in one website is not going to be the same as ATS in another. Even within websites of different companies, the ATS will vary. People who are from IT, they will know, right? Every company has its own way of tracking. It is its own way of, shortlisting profiles. So never go, never think that, okay, this is the perfect resume. There's nothing called a perfect resume, actually. So your chances of getting a job is not dependent on your resume. It is dependent on you. You have to understand that. Only one step is where the resume helps, the first level of shortlisting. That's it. And for that, the words and the keywords are enough. The good language is enough. Okay, honestly expressing your strengths is enough. So the more honest you are, from within, okay, the faster you will land opportunities. So basically, your criteria for getting a job is not your resume, it is your honesty. basically. Okay, see, the reason why I'm explaining to you in depth is because I do this kind of coaching to all my clients who come to me, and many of them, you know, when they undergo this kind of a coaching, you know, they immediately land opportunities. Why? Because they make the effort to change themselves. So if this is something you're attending in order to get yourself a job, make sure that whatever you're doing is an honest attempt. You know, your resume should be an honest attempt, plus, you know, the some of the technical strategies, and, you know, so I'll be giving you one website which will help you in grading yourself. It will also give you some ready-made sentences that you can go and, you know, embed into it. So I use that website for my business, okay, as a business kya kehte hain, business tool. I'm using it on a daily basis. So the thing is, you know, you just have to go there, and, you know, you can easily do it from your end, and you can also start a business of resume writing after this, if you really if you get the points. Okay, so it's not very difficult to start a resume writing business, by the way. So okay, so difference between resume and a curriculum writer. Okay, many people don't understand what's a resume and a curriculum, CV. So there is not much difference, to be frank. And in this session, we are going to be talking about a CV, basically. We are not talking about only a resume, because a resume is a brief summary of your skills and experience over 1 or 2 pages. That's it. Okay, and a CV is more detailed and can stretch well beyond 2 pages. So we are going to talk about a CV, a kind of a broader, you know, a bigger document that you should draft for your own self. The resume will be tailored to each position, whereas the CV will stay put, and any changes will be in the cover letter. Okay. Now, this point I'm not taking here. Why? Because I do a combination of CV and resume formats usually. So whatever is my experience so far, okay, whatever is working for my clients, I'll be explaining that to you. And in some cases, it doesn't work also. So there's no hard and fast rule. As I said, there's nothing called a perfect resume at the end of the day. So, but the point is, you have to draft it with honesty. That's very important. Okay, CV is long. It covers your entire career, and it's a static document. Okay, resume is short, no particular format rule, highly customizable. Okay, what this person is what this means primarily is that your resume can also be like an online statement. Okay, like for example, an online resume is your LinkedIn, and it can be customized, and your resume you can keep on changing continuously. Okay, you should come up with like 1 or 2 pages that are like dynamic. You know, you can change it according to roles and, you know, job positions that are being advertised. So you should always have, like, say, one big CV, which is like maybe 3 pages. Don't exceed 3 pages even for a CV, and a resume which is like a 1-pager. So you should have both always with you, so that depending on whoever is approaching you, you're able to quickly edit it and send it across. Okay, so you can have you should have a CV and a resume both ideally with you before you actually set out on the journey for applying for jobs. Okay, so this is a suggestion I'm giving to you from mine, because I tell it to my clients, you know, to always come up with these 2 documents, so that they can, before they really set out on starting, before they really start applying for jobs, you know, they have that thing ready with them. Okay, different types of resumes. One thing is to have a document and design based. Okay, there is a document and design based difference between the resumes. You will find it in the online space, and this is nothing rocket science that I'm teaching you. So one is the text based resume, which is, you know, like a text based resume, which is like the black and white resumes. And text based resumes are also colored these days. If you typically go to Naukri, Monster, they will give you a text based resume. Okay, the irony is they will call it a visual resume. That is a problem. So they will give you a text-based resume which is in a like a colored format. They will design it using MS Word only. Okay, but it will look as if it has been designed using Photoshop. But ideally, okay, the difference between a text-based resume which is colored and a visual resume is that the visual resume is designed using Corel Draw or Adobe Photoshop, and, you know, these kind of tools, these kind of IT tools. Okay, someone is unmuted. Please mute yourself. Okay, so visual resume, it is a visually appealing resume in colored format, but with text on it written in a routine way, organized into paragraphs, etc. So visual resume is a resume which is designed using Photoshop. Okay, and the designer will give you like a Photoshop file. They will give you one PDF and a Word. So for the Photoshop file, they will charge you separately. If you want like a template, that is like a template, right? So the Photoshop file. So if you want that, they will charge you separately, but PDF and Word, usually they'll give you. So to my clients, I give them the PDF and the Word. I don't give them the Photoshop file. It is usually with our designers, okay? And text-based resume is something which can again be Word and PDF. The point is it can either be black and white, a plain proper black and white resume, and it can be designed really attractively even if it's just black and white, or the same thing can be designed using colors, and you can, mostly text based resumes are designed using MS Word only, okay, unless and until the particular place from where you're buying the resume, they have some other software or some other customized software to do that. So but on the whole, they're black and white resumes, and Word documents in color formats. That's a text based resume. Visual resumes, again, visually appealing resume in colored format, but text on it written in its routine way, organized into paragraphs. Infographic resume is not the same as visual resume. You have to understand this, okay? Now, I work only with these formats, okay? So if something new pops up in the market apart from these, I have no clue about it, but I work with these 3 resume forms. So infographic resumes, information is properly presented in a sequence and visually arranged in the form of infographics. So the thing is, if you look at infographics, infographics, they are like just they are graphic pieces, which you usually you'll come across on blogs, or you'll come across a lot of infographics on websites like Pinterest, right? You'll see a lot of infographics. People post infographics about topics, blogs, and all of that. So they convert it into an information graphic and they put it there. So when your resume looks like an infograph, it is known as an infographic resume. That's all, okay? But it is not a visual resume. It's a visually appealing resume, and it's easier to read, but it is not a visual resume. Visual resume is where it still has text and a combination of, say, bar charts and skill set presented attractively, but a visual resume is designed in Photoshop. Infographic resume can also be designed in Photoshop. It can also be designed in Word, basically. So the design part may vary, but on the whole, these are the primary differences between the 3. So the pricing for these 3 will vary in the market. If you go to people, they'll design an infographic at a different price, visual at a different price, and text-based resume at a different price. Why? Because when it comes to writing an infographic and a visual resume, when it comes to writing an infographic resume, the challenge is higher because it has to be short, it has to be visually presented well, the chronology has to be shown properly, the right number of words, minimal words have to be used in designing it. At the same time, the strengths have to be highlighted. And then you do all kind of unconventional things on it, right? Putting more pictures and adding more, quotations and all of that. So the point is, these 3 are the ones, and unconventional resumes can be a combination of all of this. And unconventional resumes use images, graphs, portfolio, may have a web-based interface. Unconventional resumes can be online resumes, wherein you have like a portfolio website, and you convert it into a resume. Like, first you create a website, and then there are tools which will help you in converting that website into a resume. So people do all of this. I have not yet ventured into that, but there are multiple ways of generating a resume which is more attractive, and there are many free tools in the in the online space where they'll give you a trial and they'll ask you to go and see how it can be done, and they charge you separately for the trial also. So it depends. So primarily these are the 4 types of resume that you can come across, or that you can create for your own self if you've really set out on that. So okay, and the second point is a difference which is based on the explanation or the writing based differences. So the first point is chronological difference. So chronological resumes describe roles and achievements in the chronological order, recent to past works. This is how they're going to talk about the job profile, and it may or may not have a description, or it may have a shorter description. So chronological resumes are ideally they're going to talk about the date and in this year, that month, and then they'll have a smaller description. They'll not be very long, but they will be very highly structured because it's a chronological resume. Now, functional resume is something where again the dates, months will be mentioned, but the focus will be more on the skills and experience. It includes summary with objective statement, but has no elaborate work history like in chronological based. Okay, I think it's the other way around. It has. Okay, I think it is. Okay, so but it has no elaborate work history like in chronological based resume. See, the point is some people write chronological resumes that are short. Some people write chronological resumes that are longer. Okay, it entirely depends on what they're trying to do exactly. Likewise, for the functional, some people are writing smaller resumes. Some people are writing larger resumes. So the point is always to come up with a combination of these, and combination works much better. Combination works like combines chronology and functional expertise and works best. At least for me, this has worked very, very well for all my clients. And obviously I do this designing, and also visual resumes look better. And, see, always, any document is like, 40% content and 60% presentation to a great extent. So especially in countries like US, Canada, UAE, even for that matter, presentation is always 60%. This is something I have come across. This is my personal experience with my clients. Okay. So if someone else is a resume writer here, they may have come across a different journey. Now, I don't know about that. But when it comes to countries like Australia and New Zealand, the content is more important. Presentation, they go low on the presentation. Even the countries, the APAC countries, Singapore, Malaysia, the presentation is less important. The content is more important. So it varies from country to country, basically. And in India, it works as a balance. India is still running on text-based resumes, actually, if you look at it. Excuse me, sorry. Even if you look at our recruiters here, many people who come to me from within India, they tell me that, okay, people who approach me, what they tell me is, my recruiter has told me that, I should go only for a text-based resume and I should not go for a visual resume. And the reason is why? Because the recruiter tells them that the ATS is more compliant with the text-based resume. Okay. Now, the point is, the ATS for some of the websites are only, more text-based, not for all. Like if you look at Monster ATS, my experience has been that on Monster, if you upload visual resumes, they do better. But on Naukri, if you upload visual resumes, they're performing lower. They perform lesser as compared to, so that is the chances of shortlisting are lesser. It's not that they won't get shortlisted, but the presentation, the format gets disturbed when you upload it. So the point is always combine chronological and functional expertise, and always keep 2-3 forms ready with you. Have a text-based resume and have an infographic or a visual resume ready with you. Okay. Vidya is asking, chances of visual or infographics resume getting shortlisted is more or text-based ones. That's what, as I said, it varies from country to country. Okay. If you look at countries like US, Canada, then my experience has been 90% of the times visual resumes get shortlisted faster because of the presentation factor. UAE is somewhere in between. Okay, in some industries like finance and all, they prefer content-based resumes. But if you look at other industries like the IT industry or even the construction engineering, my experience has been that the visual resumes have gotten shortlisted faster. As far as infographic resumes are concerned, okay, infographic resumes are very good for people who have an experience of about 12 to 15 years. Okay, don't go for infographic resume if your experience is between 1 to 12 years. You can have it ready with you. But don't depend on it. Or don't have the expectation of getting shortlisted with that unless and until you're a creative person. Like, for example, if you're like a graphic designer, web designer, if you have like a creative portfolio, infographic resume may be more useful to you. Okay. But if you're like a technical person, like say, for instance, you are like a programmer, or if you're like an engineer, okay, then probably the visual format is much better. Visual format is much better. Why? Because it is balancing the visual appeal as well as the text. Likewise for the text-based resume. Text-based resume always stands a better chance of getting shortlisted. Why? Because the content is strong. Focus always on the content. Okay. I know that 60% presentation and 40% content, but still, if the content is stronger, even if the presentation is slightly weaker, you will stand more chances of getting shortlisted. So keep the content strong, keep your strengths strong. As I said, the honesty of your own profile, your own individuality, your own uniqueness is what your resume should represent. It is not about the superfluity of the resume. What is inside of you is going to be outside of you. Okay, so always have that inside factor. It is not like a Bollywood industry, where your external appearance is going to matter. It is not like that. It is the content that matters. Unless and until you are like a graphic designer or a web designer. See, in that case, the external look is going to matter more. If you're a fashion designer, then your designs and the external look is going to matter in certain cases. Okay, but if you're like a programmer, if you're like a writer, if you're like a a manager, project manager, or okay, in case of a project manager, it is the metrics and the budgetary and the monetary achievements that is going to matter. if you're like a CEO, vice president, president, it is your action oriented achievements that is going to matter. How many countries you've been to, how many people you have managed, the numbers that are going to matter. Okay. If you are like a software programmer, or if you're like a, what else? Okay. If you're like a software programmer, coder, analyst, in this case, the content, the technical achievements is going to matter. So achievements have to be varied based on your profile, and depending on the role you're applying to again. So the functional aspect is more applicable after 10 years of experience. Before 10 years of experience, keep it very, very strong on the technical content and your functional skills. Okay. See, the thing is, for example, if someone is at a, say you're at a junior level to mid level. Okay. Say you're in a mid level of your career wherein you experience around 8 to 10 years. So you are somewhere like, you know, you have crossed the technical stage of it, but you have not yet landed into the functional stages, right? So you're in between somewhere. So you have to balance both of this. So when I write resumes for people, or when my team members, you know, do that, we always balance that. We have like very deep conversations with our clients in understanding what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. Without that conversation, writing the resume is a waste. Why? Because the end goal of writing a resume for someone else, okay, there are two things: writing for yourself, writing for someone else. When you're writing for yourself, you can take a chance, because your responsibility is towards your own self. So even if you make a mistake, you can go back and you can, you know, hold yourself responsible, correct it, and you will not regret, because you have done it, you have made the mistake, you haven't found a job. Okay. But when you're writing for someone else as a business, you are responsible for them, not for giving them a document. It is not about giving them a document, it is about finding them a job. So unless and until you move with that end goal in the mind, you'll not be able to do justice to your job. So I always think about what is the end goal of my customer. Okay. What is he or she trying to achieve with it? Like some people want promotions within their own company. For that, they want a better resume. Some people want to find a new job. For that, they want a resume. Some people want to just network with it. For that, they want to find a resume. So the reason why they're quitting the job, what kind of role they're getting at next, and what is their personal preference. See, some people, they are very fond of infographic resumes. So despite the fact that I tell them get a visual resume, they are insisting on an infographic resume. So I don't really fight with them. I tell them, okay, I'll give you an infographic because you're asking. So the point is, ask and you shall receive. So what exactly you want, you have to be very clear about how you're going about it. What is the honesty level in your resume? What is the individuality and the uniqueness level in your resume? What are the strengths that you're highlighting? What are the weaknesses that you've converted into strengths? Weaknesses have to be converted into your strengths in your resume. And finally, of course, the words and the keywords that you're using. And finally, the structure, format, the different sections, the clarity. Okay. According to statistics survey, you know, it says that a recruiter spends only 5 seconds on a resume. Now, I don't know who has floated this around, but they say that this is how, you know, recruiters actually shortlist a resume. But I'll tell you from my experience, okay? When I was working as a consultant, I had like multiple, again, maybe it depends, varies from country to country. Maybe in India, they may be spending just 5 seconds because of the bulk work or the volume of work. But in other countries, they actually very carefully read the resumes. If you look at big companies, you know, the top companies, you know, the Fortune 500 companies, they basically spend a lot of time in reading the resumes actually. And usually they start, there is also a way to read a resume. You know, when people read a resume, they usually they start from the education, and then you need to move on to the experience, and then you need to move and come to the summary. So it depends again on who is reading your resume. So there is no hard and fast rule that this will succeed or that will succeed. At the end of the day, how honest you have been in your attempt, okay, and how much you are willing to experiment and give yourself time. I'm telling you once again, even if you write a perfect resume, sometimes you may not land a job. Why? Because of the market situation. There may be many other situations. So always give yourself time, be kind and compassionate to yourself, okay? And just follow these simple principles, and I'm sure, you know, it's easy for you to get shortlisted. And targeted, okay, these are written only for specific job openings advertised. So these are only for specific job openings. These are not for all the job openings. So you can also write targeted resumes, and you can keep varying it. Some people, they just vary the cover letter, right? They don't really vary the CV as such. They will just keep changing the covering letter and then keep forwarding that. That is an easy way of doing it. So you might as well follow that if you don't have the time to keep tweaking your resume from time to time. So these are the different types of resume. So far, is it clear? I know I'm going a little deep and I'm complicating it a little further for you. Why? Because I want you to start thinking from a deeper perspective about resume writing. It is seen as a very easy task sometimes, and sometimes it is seen as a very complex task, but it is neither easy nor complex. It is considerably, how much homework you're putting into it, okay? And it ideally will not take you more than 2 to 3 days to write if you understand what all you want. So always sit and first write down, what is the format I want, okay? What kind of design I want, what are my strengths and weaknesses that I want to highlight, not weaknesses, okay? Yes. Yes, Amit, you are going to get a recording. So you have to sit and write about all of that you want first. First, write all of that. Do your brainstorming with your own self. Properly chart out what kind sections you're going to provide there, what kind of achievements you're going to highlight, what are your metrics. Keep your job descriptions ready, okay? From wherever you're going to refer, do your research first, okay? Look at all the resumes in the online space that are doing well. If you go to Google and search for top 10 resumes for a project manager, for example, okay, you will get all of that. So everything is available. Do that research first before you start. So if you do all of that, spend 1 day in that research only, and then the next 2 days spend it on writing and finish it up. That's it. And if you do an honest job and be very honest at writing and highlighting your uniqueness, you will get shortlisted somewhere or the other. And I'll teach you some distribution methods, some unconventional methods also, of kind of pushing through things, okay? And you have to push, okay? In digital entrepreneurship, we say fortune lies in the follow-up, okay? Fortune lies in the follow-up. All of you just type fortune lies in the follow-up. Please type it in the comments. Yes. Just type fortune lies in the follow-up, please. Yeah. So fortune or finding a job also is the secret behind finding a job is not in approaching the HR manager. It is about following up with them. How many times you have followed up? How many times you have pushed them? Okay, how many times you have pushed yourself into improving your own resume? That's how it is. So okay, Rohini is asking whether I'll be providing some formats. Okay, apparently in this session I don't have the time, but what I'm doing is I'm going to give you access to one course after this. Okay, it's a free LinkedIn profile writing. It is a very short course. It is not like a big course or anything. I'll just give you guys access to that. You can go and join that. I will add some formats over there, okay? Because this session is like slightly this little time, but I am going to be going in depth into the sections and I'll explain all of that to you. I'll give you a tool which you can use ready-made. You can even buy the pro version and use. Like for me as a professional, I use the pro version, so you can buy it for yourself and start using it, and it will help you really in tweaking, making the changes all by yourself, and you can actually start a business around it, as I said. So okay, so what works for user profiles in the market? Okay, I believe I have forgotten to add what does not work. I'll explain it to you. So what works primarily? A short one-page resume will work usually, okay? And one-page resume, for whom does it work? One is for freshers and the other one is for CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, that kind of people, okay? If you're not in that category, if you're not a fresher or if you're not a CIO, CTO, vice president, keep it at least 2 pages. This is my recommendation. You can have a one-pager with you as an extra add-on, but always have a resume which describes your skills at least to a certain extent, okay? No, you'll not end up. See, this is your mind frick. What is it called? I'm just typing here. This is called mind frick, okay? What mind frick means is mind friction, wherein there's a fear inside you that the recruiter will doubt me or the recruiter will get fed up of me. So remove that friction. Be shameless when you're following up with people. Okay, how do you think digital marketers make sales in the on the online platform? They're shameless. They're shamelessly promoting their products. So be shameless, promote yourself, and be salesy. There's nothing wrong in it. Some people may criticize you. They'll say, okay, you are salesy, this, that, but still promote yourself, because at the end of the day, you have to sustain yourself. You have to find a new job. So in sales and marketing, they say, like, stalk the buyer until he buys the product. Stalk the buyer until he buys the product. So likewise, stalk the recruiter until he hires you. Okay, simple. Okay, but again, do it in gaps. Okay, it's not that you're calling him like in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock and before even he has woken up and brushed his teeth, you're calling him. It's not like that. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying keep following up, month after month after month. If they are not responding, show some genuine interest. Okay, so show genuine interest. For example, if say for instance you want to get into a company like Microsoft, okay, then give them 10 reasons why you have chosen Microsoft over other companies. Tell them Microsoft is this. I have been dreaming about Microsoft ever since I was a kid. Okay, yesterday's, you can say that there's nothing wrong. You can say I always wanted to be a part of this team, and you can say I want to be specifically part of this particular project or team. You can even go to that extent and explain all of that to them. If they ask you, from where you got to know about this information, about this project, and you can say I have some friends who are working there, they've referred me, and then there is nothing wrong in pleading also, guys, at times. Okay, please understand that. No, Ranjana, that's a mind freak. That's a mind freak. Okay, please understand that there is something called mind friction, okay, which is basically a mindset issue. It is not at all these are assumptions. Okay. Yeah, these are called objections. Okay, this is called objection handling in sales. See, why I am again and again quoting sales is because when you're sending a resume to a recruiter, you're selling yourself basically, directly or indirectly. You're doing that only. So let us accept the truth that we are selling ourselves. So why not then do it full-fledged? Now, why should you be assuming things and be fearful of it? Don't be fearful of the process. The same thing is applicable everywhere. For example, I'm also in the publishing industry. I'm the editor for a magazine. Okay, like when you're applying for publishers. Okay, for example, if you have written a book and you're forwarding it to, like, say 20 publishers, 30 publishers, you're not supposed to stop there. You may get rejected 20 times, 30 times, but you have to keep on doing it. If you do it 100 times, 100% you will become an author. Okay, some publisher or the other will choose you. So the point is, never retreat away from your efforts. So as I said, it's a mindset game again. Finding the job, even writing a resume is first a mindset game, and then finding a job is also a mindset game. So to that extent, I coach my clients at times. They get fed up with me, but then, it really works for them in the end, because when they really start thinking about what is stopping them, they realize that it is not the resume, actually it is they themselves. So most of the times we are our own obstacles. So please work on your mindset along with your resume, and that will really help you. I'll teach you some small methods to do that in the end. Okay, so resume with the most searched keywords on Google Bing, it works. It works at a superfluous level. That is, it will get you shortlisted. Please understand this. People will tell you, come to me for resume writing services. I'll give you like the best, SEO based resume. Fantastic. Okay, they'll do a great job. You will get shortlisted. But what will happen is, after the shortlisting process, you will not clear the interview, or some other obstacle will happen, or something else. That is where the mindset plays a major role. So all these assumptions, they come into play. So if you want to bridge the gap between resume and finding the job, in between is what you need to work on your mindset. Okay, so a resume with most searched keywords on Google or Bing works to the extent that it will get you shortlisted. Okay, conditions apply. So it will get you shortlisted, but beyond that shortlisting process, you have to work. Okay, you have to work on your own self. Within 10 years, no. Can you tell me which platform you're talking about? Vidya is asking, is it true resume with 10 years is better shortlisted than with more experience? Who told you, yeah, all these stories? You tell me which platform you're talking about. Shortlisted on which platform, for example? Generic. Okay. The point is, now think about it. Think a little deeper. Why would a recruiter shortlist someone? One is they have to have opportunities, right? So it is quite obvious that openings for someone with 10 years and below experience, the openings will be more in number, right? Obviously, right? Like, for example, if you take a team in a company, senior project managers will be less in number. There will only be 2 or 3 project managers, but the developers will be like 20 or 30 in number. So it's quite obvious why they are being shortlisted more. That's one thing. Second thing is senior people. Okay, senior people, that is, who have crossed the experience of 12 to 15 years. Many of them do not put their resumes on platforms like Naukri and Monster. Many of them choose not to do so. I'm telling it to you with my experience, because maybe you may not be aware of this, but many senior people, they do not put their CV on the online platform. Why? Because they say that, now I'm at a stage where I don't want my CV to be publicized. I want to go through only specific consultants. So in that case, what will happen? The CV is only with specific consultants. So obviously the shortlisting chances are also low, because it is gone only to that many number of consultants. So this is a very, very logical explanation that I've given. Okay. guys, we'll take the Q&A in the end. Okay, this is a very big question. We'll take it in the end. But so far, please understand that these are all assumptions that you're making. There's no hard and fast rule. Okay, a resume that is pictorially represented as infograph does well. Again, as I said, it works well for specific profiles, specific job roles, not for all. If you're presented an infograph, if you're like a coder, okay, for example, if you're a programmer, and if instead of highlighting your technical skill set, if you're presented it well but there's no content, you will not get shortlisted. So you have to think from a 360-degree perspective. What am I? Who am I? What are my strengths? What are my technical strengths? What is the job that I'm next looking at requires me to present? What, your resume is not for you. It is for the recruiter, basically. So what the recruiter is looking at. So always match it with the JD that they have, posted there on Naukri, and then you balance the content in the presentation around that. Okay, a resume that is visually written and presented usually does well as compared to a text resume. Again, visually, again, it depends on whom you're approaching. If it's the ATS which is shortlisting you, a text resume does well. If it's a consultant whom you're sending it to, visual resumes do well. So again, there is no hard and fast rule, but both of them work well. Text resumes as well as visual resumes work well. Visual resumes have an upper hand. Why? Because they're visually attractive. So that's it. Okay, a resume that focuses on achievements rather than experience and education. Okay, the point is, beyond a certain point, maybe within the first 6-7 years, your experience and education will count, and all these little tasks and activities you did, all the value that you added will add value to your resume. Okay, but beyond that, it is your CV should be achievements based. It should be based on metrics. Okay, all your achievements have to be measurable on the CV. That is very, very important. So make sure that you are coming up with a CV which balances functional achievements as well as your metrics based achievements. So a CV should not be entirely technical, it should not be entirely functional, and should not be entirely metrics based also. It is to balance all three aspects: functional aspects, metrics based, that is quantitative aspects, okay, measurable aspects, percentage improvements, what else, cost savings, the $1 million figure, all of that, all of that has to appear along with your functional achievements. And along with that, your technical expertise should also appear there. In some cases, technical expertise does not matter, but in your previous experience, you can say that you had some, technical expertise. So for example, if you're the CEO now with like 20+ years experience, your technical expertise is not going to matter. What matters is how much of a change maker you are, what kind of a transformation you'll be able to bring about in the organization on the whole, right? So the point is, your profile is going to grow as a person, you as a person is going to grow, and your resume has to grow according to that. So primarily your resume will work as much as you work. Your resume is going to grow as much as you grow. Please understand that. So uniqueness and your uniqueness and honesty, that is what comes into the picture. And be very, very honest about your strengths. Some people ask me, that I am like for example, I'm a CFO, okay, but I also have writing skills. I also have, art skills, for example, okay. Should I mention the art skills and the writing skills or not? Now understand one thing, you as an individual, okay, your strength need not only be focused on the fact that you're a CFO, right? These are also adding to your strengths. So never feel ashamed to mention all that. Maybe you need not elaborate on that, but make sure that every single strength that you have is mentioned there, and be very, very, be confident about it. So the point is, how much of confidence is showing up on your resume is very important. And once you get shortlisted in the interviews, the same confidence has to show up. And you need not be an expert, and at primarily in whatever is written there, but you should be able to manage whatever you're presenting there, and always be very ethical. Always present data which you can manage and which you can talk about. Never present anything which you have not done. So all of these also really count. Sometimes you may see a lot of people do that. They present fake information, they get into some role, and then eventually, they will end up losing their job, or it may not sustain. It depends. So if you want to sustain in the long run, the first foundation has to be very, really honest and ethical. So always be honest and ethical at any given point in time, because at some point or the other, it backfires if you're not honest and ethical. Okay. So what works for different user profiles? Freshers, One pages work for very well for freshers. It can be visual or infographic or text based. So you can decide which one you want. Have you heard of the tool called Canva? Canva, anybody here knows Canva? There's a tool called Canva. Okay. So those of you who don't know, yeah, Canva has resume, what do you say, templates. So freshers can just go to Canva, create one for themselves for free. They need not even approach anybody and pay money to that. But of course, the writing skills are needed. Maybe for the writing skills, you may have to approach someone, but the design can be easily made on Canva. And they also have some, so you can like kind of, do some more Google research and come up with some good formats also, even for the text, and you can create one. Again, make sure you're not copy pasting from anywhere. And yeah, app is also available. Canva app is also available on laptop. Also, you can use it, easily create a resume, and you can do it for free. Even the senior profiles can do that. I'm saying for freshers, it's easy. You don't have to spend any money. Focus on academic achievements, projects, internships, etc., and willingness to learn. And when you're a fresher, the focus has to be on resume types. I'll show you. Okay, I don't have any screenshots here. I'll show you. Okay. So academic achievements, projects, internships, all of these really matter when it comes to fresher. When you're a fresher applying for jobs, and these things really matter. Okay, and more of the willingness to learn, more of the fact that you're down to earth, and more of the fact that you're willing to stretch time. Okay, that matters. Like when you're entering as a fresher, always be more humble. Okay, always be more humble and willing to learn. Even if you get scolded a few times by a project manager or by your seniors, be willing to take all that nonsense and be ready to take all of that. Why? Because that will help you to grow as a person. That'll make you more tolerant. So that is very important, and you as a person have to be conscious of all of this. The reason why many people are not able to retain their jobs at times is because they have very low tolerance levels. Even I was like that only. So the point is that tolerance level has to be a little higher. So that will help you in sustaining the job. See, finding a job is very easy. Okay, today you can write your resume yourself. You can go get it done by someone else. But are you able to sustain? That is the biggest challenge. So the attitude matters as much as the resume. Okay, unless the applicant is from a B school that's placing them, they must express the desire to learn and grow and focus. And the focus must not be on the money. Don't always say money, money, money. Never. Okay, it should be balanced, well balanced. Okay, and even the B school people I've seen, it sometimes backfires if they don't perform well. So if you've got like a very good starting salary, but later on if you're not able to perform up to that level, you'll again come down. So that will actually create a demotivation for you. So it is always good to go step by step and increase slowly. There's nothing wrong in your salary increasing slowly. Okay, understand that the wealth in your life is not because of what is called money. The wealth in your life is many other things. The satisfaction that's going to come from the job, the learning environment, okay, the type of people you're going to meet, okay, and what is the innovation you're bringing about over there. And if you're not satisfied in a corporate job, okay, then that's an indication that you need to start a side hustle. So these days you can start a side hustle, right? That's what I help people with. I help them become digital entrepreneurs. So any of you here, if you want to start a side hustle, like if you want to start an agency in your mother's name or your wife's name or your kid's name, you can come to me and I can help you with that. So why I'm telling you this is because don't quit your job because of of reasons you don't know. You have to properly know why you're quitting a job first. Okay, very clear. In case of unfortunate circumstances where you get terminated or some kind of a downsizing happens, always have a side hustle to depend on so that you are not completely out of any support. So all of these things you have to do. Even with your money, you have to follow a system. Keep saving. Don't save everything, but you have to get into the habit of saving. We Indians are very good at it, but we save too much at times. So you have to balance everything. Okay, display expertise and new ideas, attitude in the resume to make it stand out. Make your resume innovative. Okay, don't just follow the rut. If you look at if you find some template over there, on the internet, you'll find many templates. You have to change it. Okay, modify it according to your own attitude, your own uniqueness. So please display expertise and new ideas, especially as a fresher. That's very important, because if the company who's hiring you sees that you have the spark to bring about some value to the company, they will hire you immediately. So what is new about you that makes a lot of difference? What is new about you as a fresher is going to make a lot of difference. But when it comes to the 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 next few roles, wherein your experience, then the recruiter will be experience what this person did in the previous company. They will be limited to that. But when you're coming in as a fresher, it's like, okay, this person is fresh, just now come out of college, so what all did he or she do, how is he behaving in the college, all of these things. And then they might as well go and do a background verification about you. They might go and check your profiles on the other platforms and all of that. So be very, very, clear about that. Okay. Freshers. Okay. So this is for the freshers. Now, junior level, one pagers usually do well because 0 to 5 years is not much of experience. Okay. So one pager is enough usually, or at the most 2 pages. Don't cross 2 pages for 0 to 5 years. If you give them like a 3 pager and you have only 5 years of experience, they will be like, yeah, there's so much to read, and they may not read it actually in this kind of a given situation. So if your experience is just 0 to 5 years, do a 1 pager or a 2 pager maximum. You can use a combination of visual, infographic, text based, whatever you want. Again, as I said, do your discretion. Okay. I mean, be very clear on which type of CV you want to have. Okay. Focus on willingness to learn and grow, and what value the person added to organization despite being new to corporate world. So willingness to learn and grow is equally important. Although you're not a fresher here, you have only few years of experience. Here also you have to be very, very humble. Okay. And you have to always tell the employer that I'm willing to stretch beyond the time you're giving me. Don't throw tantrums and tell them that I'll work only 8 hours. Beyond that, I don't work. So the point is, these are certain things, these are certain behavioral aspects that they will like about you. So be very humble, create that personal trust first. Even in sales, that's what they say. The personal trust counts more than the professional trust, ideally. So if the personal trust factor is strong, the professional trust will be built automatically. It can be built easily. But if the personal trust is low, professional trust, whatever skills you may have, you may be like the Einstein of IT companies. You'll not be able to find a job, or you may not be able to sustain after actually getting into an organization. So at a personal level, what kind of a person you are, what is the heart connect with the people around you, with the recruiter, with the HR manager. They are all humans. So have that human based approach when you're approaching recruiters and HR managers during interviews also. And your resume also should have a human based approach. That's why I said your uniqueness, your individuality has to come out. The technical aspects, the words, the keywords, these are all secondary aspects. What is the personal touch you have given to your resume? How honest you are on your resume is important. And typically, sometimes what happens is, if you are too simple and if your simplicity is coming out just like that, some people may try to take advantage of you, offer you lower salary. Some people may reject you because they'll say like, yeah, this person is like too very honest. Okay, they'll reject you also. But understand one thing, that is good if they have rejected you. Even if you take a little bit more time to find that ideal opportunity for you, that may be the opportunity which will sustain you for the next 20 years. Why? Because you approached it with a very honest intent at first. So the first intention should be very, very honest. The clarity of growth path desired must be expressed or at least spoken about during the interviews. What is the growth path you're seeking? What is your goal? Be prepared with this before you go for the interview. Okay, what are your goals now? Okay, like right now, if you're like at a 5 years experience, 5 years down the line, where you want to be, next 10 years, where you want to be. Okay, all of that has to be properly designed, and don't be in a rush to grow. Okay, tell them that you're willing to give the time to grow. Give the time to grow always. Like these days, a very big problem is people want to grow very fast. It won't happen. The attention span is very low for people. Within some people, who learn digital from me, they want to learn everything within 1 month. In the next month, they want a company set up. In the third month, they want to have clients. It cannot happen like that. Minimum 6 months to 1 year you have to give. It's a new skill you're getting into. So learn the new skill in depth, master it. And then when you do it, it'll sustain in the long run. So likewise for resumes also, doing something superfluously and doing something with real labor and hard work, it will always have like a long-term impact. And people will appreciate you, remember you for all the hard work you put in. So always believe in hard work. Okay. Task and activities oriented explanation will work for a 0 to 5 years. Task and activities oriented. So what do I mean by that is like a daily tasks that you did. Okay, monthly tasks that you did, the kind of star of the month awards that you won. All of these are activity oriented explanation. when it comes to 0 to 5 years experience. Why? Because you're in the growth phase right now at that point in time. You're not yet become like a thorough professional. You're still growing as a professional. So all of these are important for a 0 to 5 years professional. Okay. Now, when it comes to 5 to 10 years, 2 pages minimum should be there for 5 to 10 years. Don't make it 1 page. Okay. You can have a 1 page separately, but 2 pages should be there so that you can highlight a little bit about your talk a little bit. See, never feel lazy to talk about all the things that you achieved. You have to keep selling yourself every single day, every single minute. Okay. You have to keep selling yourself. So 2 pages, visual, infographic, or text based. Again, you can decide. It can be 3 pages. It can be 3 pages. Okay. Focus on achievements in terms of enhanced analytical skills, managerial skills, and expressing clearly. Okay, here, now if you're like 7 to 8 years, it should be like, maybe it can be slightly more on the technical side and less on the functional, but the functional has to start appearing from the mid-level itself. Very important. And if your functional expertise is not, for example, skills like team management, training, for example, like say peer-to-peer trainings, mentoring, a little bit of mentoring with your own team members, all a little bit, not much. Okay. Mentoring is a very big term, but kind of helping other people. All of these functional skills should also appear along with your with your technical skills. So your analytical skills, your managerial skills have to start appearing right from the time that you are like 5 to 10 years. And you should also start thinking from that perspective. Your growth path, you should also align your growth path from that perspective, where I was as a junior. So clearly it's like, it should be like within the time frame of 0 to 5 years, I did only technical things. I did only tasks and activity based stuff, and my growth was limited within that period. But the moment I entered into like a 5 to 10 years, so where I was as a junior and where I'm today as a mid-level professional, the difference should show in both the role descriptions. So in the beginning of the years, you can have just four points each, not much activity based, and I became the star of the month, all of that. The moment you enter that 8 to 10 years kind of a thing, it should be more like, I became an action oriented person. It's not action orientated. Okay, it is action oriented. So how I became more action oriented, and what kind of value I started adding to my project manager, what are the new skills I learned, okay, how did I up level myself, all of that should be there. And again, clarity of growth path should be very, very clear on that. Is maybe during the interviews, if you have not really mentioned it in the CV. So what is the expectation in terms of the growth path? That also has to be very, very clear, in a 5 to 10 years experience. Okay. When it comes to senior managerial level, 2 to 3 pages, again, visual, infographic, or text based. 3 pages is good for 10 to 15 years. Okay. 2 pages is also okay if you're able to manage everything and put everything together. Monetary contributions must be a highlight. Okay. Monetary contributions, because for example, if you're a project manager or a senior project manager, then what is the cost savings you did, right? What kind of hiring costs you saved? What are the numbers you achieved in terms of, for example, what are the sales numbers? Of course, for sales professionals, right from their first job, it is just the numbers. So right from 2 to 3 years onwards, the numbers begin to matter for salespeople. But if you're like a non-sales person, maybe if you're like an IT person, it's more like, after like 8 to 10 years, you can say that, the monetary contributions start mattering a lot. So the quantitative stuff has to be highlighted more and more. And I'll show you the tool, which will talk about all of that. So monetary contributions, cost savings, performance optimization, team management, innovative management of projects must be the focus. Desire to create better organizations with action-oriented explanation. You can start thinking about, starting your own company the moment you cross 10 plus years of experience. Why? Because that will create the foundation for you to go and do it maybe 10 years or, even 5 years down the line, right? After you, while you're growing, you can also start thinking about these things simultaneously. And what happens is, when you have these big ideas in your mind, you will actually start talking about it in the interviews, and you will come across as a very action oriented person. So there's a difference between being an activity oriented person and in being an action oriented person. So action oriented is someone who's thinking from a very bigger, very larger perspective, good for the majority. I know it sounds like a politician, but it's like, actually you have to think from the perspective of the majority. For how many more, what are the numbers I can achieve in terms of money as well as in terms of serving people again. So it should be like that. And numbers, monetary figures, percentages play a vital role. Very, very vital role. So from here, your metrics start mattering more and more and more, although it matters even in the first two, three categories, but here it matters much, much more. And the focus should be on numbers, monetary figures, percentages. Okay, focus to be on functional leadership plus monetary achievements. So the primary focus when you're talking about achievements should be your functional achievements and the monetary achievements, and less of technical achievements. Why? Because here you're at a leadership level, so you have already reached a considerable thought leadership level here. So you have to make sure that, you know, that is reflecting here. Okay. And top executives, 1 pager or 3 pages work well for top executives. 2 pages also should do well, but most of them choose either a 1 pager or a 3 pager, or they have both simultaneously. And visual, infographic, text based, or any format, you know, you should have all formats ideally. Okay. Numbers, monetary figures, percentages only matter. Okay, here the technical is just one support thing, you know, 90% numbers, monetary figures, and percentages matter in this case. And your how many people you impacted, okay, how many factories you managed, okay, how many conflicts you resolved, okay, how many challenges you faced and brought the company out of it, how many startup policies, you know, you introduced into, if you understand what I'm talking about. So this is like a from a how many employees in your company, and how many of them, you know, were you able to use, or okay, how many of them were you really able to mentor. Okay, so here your role as a mentor, as a guide, as like someone who's a role model for your entire organization has to be highlighted. So you see the difference between like a 10 to 15 year and 15 plus years. This is like a very big role actually. You're at like one of a top executive. You're like a director, CEO, CTO. The level of your thought has to be as big as your role primarily. So again, your resume will grow only as much as you are growing, only as much as your mind expands. Expand your mind. You know, see, at each of these stages, you have also grown as an individual, right? That's why you're not just your position, but as an individual, your brain is also expanding. So work on all those things, think very broad, and then shallow it down, narrow it down, bring all of your achievements together, put them all together. Thought leadership, transformative achievements, cross-border travel, global level achievements, all of this matters. How many countries you went to, how many languages you know, okay? How many people you network with in a year, how many top business leaders you know, all of this counts. So even if you are like at a junior level, you can start working on this now itself. You can start doing the homework now itself, but don't be in a rush to become a CEO next year itself. That won't happen, because there are going to be like many people in between who want to become CEOs who would have like a lot of experience. But yes, if you want to become a CEO in your own business, you can do that definitely. But again, understand one thing, calling yourself a CEO and actually being one, there's a lot of difference. So no business can be established like overnight. Okay, it all takes years to build. So give the time to your own self, give the time for others to give you the opportunity. Sometimes a recruiter may shortlist you and then come back to you 3-4 months later also. So always have like positive hope, you know, go with the positive hope. If this one doesn't work immediately, switch to the next recruiter. If this one is not working, switch to the next recruiter. As I said, fortune lies in the follow-up. Keep following up with the older ones, don't leave it. And you know, always have like 2-3 offers in hand if possible. Or if you think, okay, this is the one that I'm getting and you know I'm in dire need of it, go for it immediately, something like that. So the point is the focus at all these levels is entirely different. Why am I equipping you with all this conceptual knowledge is because before you start writing your resume, this conceptual knowledge has to be deeply ingrained into you. You have to understand at what level you are as a human being, on your role, on your position, where you are. And then you have to actually start writing your resume. When you do this homework clearly, it will be very easy for you to, you know, write your resume actually. Okay. Now, coming to criteria for assessment. Okay. How to assess your current resume, or what are the criteria based on which you should assess yourself. One is ease of reading and understanding. Okay. At any given level, although it sounds very complex, I know that. I have made it complex purposely for you so that you start thinking more deeper. The point is language based assessment is important. So ease of reading and understanding. Always use simple words. Always use words which are easily understandable by people. Okay. Clarity of words and meanings. What the word is and what it means. The word as the word as such should be simple, The meaning also has to be simple. It has to mean exactly what you're trying to tell. So these three things are important. Crispness of language is important. Never go round and round and round with language. Don't keep repeating the same thing over and over again in the same resume. Okay, you are not a coach. It is a job of a coach to keep repeating the same thing again and again. You're not coaching the recruiter there. You're just giving them facts as is. So don't repeat the same points. Make sure you are removing all the duplications. Okay, like some resume writers I've seen, unconsciously, they will be repeating the same points. They will be expressing the same points in a different way. So the point is you be very careful and make sure that is not happening. That's one. Secondly, if you want to make the CV a little bit longer, see, the CVs usually work in a different way in different countries. If you look at European countries, they prefer longer resumes. Okay, why? Because English is their native language. So they expect you to write longer CVs with complicated sentences sometimes. So that is acceptable in Europe. But if you go to US or Canada, they will get fed up with that kind of thing. So also keep in mind these factors. Okay, technicality and functionality based, section-wise structure and description. Section-wise structure and description is important. Okay, what is the structure you have given to your CV? Focus on academic credentials for entry-level resumes and experience-level achievements for mid to senior level profiles is something we have discussed. Keywords that are searched, important. Focus on monetary quantifiable achievements wherever applicable, and ATS compliance overall. So we have already discussed all of this. Yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the software that I use, and many people are using it, and I think more number of people are going to use it because a lot of people, I mean, it's available out in the public, so a lot of people will obviously use it. But again, how you're using it is depending on you. So these are the different, these are the different aspects of it. And ease of reading, understanding, clarity of words, crispness of language, non-repetition of sentences, removing the duplications. Okay, being very clear in what you're trying to say or express, and rewriting wherever there is lack of clarity. All of these are things you have to work. If you want to be a resume writer, you have to work on this apart from the clarity of intention for your own self and for your client. If you're working for someone else, you have to put yourself in their place and do it. So as you can see, resume writing is a very laborious task. It is not like you just did some research and you did it and it's not like that. Okay, if you do it like that, then the results will also be like that only. Okay, ATS compliance, applicant tracking system. Okay, every job site, for example, Naukri, Monster, Shine, all of these have something known as the applicant tracking system, which works on a particular algorithm. Okay, they have algorithms to identify keywords. They have algorithms to check the complexity of the resume. They have algorithms to read the experience. Okay, they all come with different algorithms. Every website will have a different kind of an ATS. So what happens is when a recruiter is searching, for example, for a resume, the algorithm will come into the picture. It is operating at the back end. Okay, on the front end, the resume is the recruiter is looking only at something will keep going round and round. In 1 minute, it will, for example, okay, recruiter gets into their Naukri employment platform and they look for technical writers. They have typed technical writers. Okay, now what this ATS will do, and they will also use some filters. Okay, technical writers from Chennai with these many years of experience with these keywords. They will look for all of this. So the ATS will go round and round and round. It's a search engine basically. ATS is nothing but a search engine. So the search engine will go round and round and round, and it will get into the ATS and it will pull out the resumes that are matching with that criteria that the recruiter has specified. So primarily, if you want to impress the ATS, so on the like we do SEO for impressing the search engines, right? So for resumes also, you have to do certain level of keyword analysis for ATS compliance. Okay, Alex, you cannot keep checking on it all the time. Just use the keywords that are more used by people. I'll teach you some strategies. It's just upcoming. Okay, so I hope this is overall clear. How to assess your resume. I'll give you a tool which will assess it for you. You don't have to do it yourself. It will give you all the factors and it will also give you some alternatives. If you purchase the pro version, it will tell you even that. So you can always do the analysis yourself and you can rewrite everything on your own. Okay. So I hope so far it's okay. So far overall, is it clear, guys? Just type clear in the comments. Give me a smiley also. Clear with a smiley. Okay, how to assess? creating sections and rewriting. Now this is where the actual labor comes in. Thank you. Thank you. So top headline, okay, with name, address, make it very simple. Okay. See, so far you have, you can say all the heavy stuff is crossed now. Okay. Now is the easy part. But the point is you have to first master all the heavy stuff. If you have mastered the heavy stuff, doing the easy part is very, very easy. So top headline, the actual writing part is very easy. The homework is only more difficult actually. So top headline with name, address, email, phone number, URL. Simple. Put the name above, okay, address below, email, phone number, and the URL. When I'm saying URL, it can be your website, or ideally it can be your LinkedIn URL, okay, that can be included as a part of this and this. Now the next thing is the objective statement. Now objective statement, you need not really call it the objective statement, okay, but like in some CVs, objective statement is missing, especially if it's a senior level CV. Now again, it depends, but all the CVs that have an objective statement do better as compared to those who do not have. So go to Google, look for what is an objective statement. You'll get plenty of examples of objective statements. Okay. Now the point is how to write the objective statement. That's the point, because there are plenty of examples there. It'll be like, you know, to add value to the organization by being a very, you know, a very sincere software developer, etc., etc. All of this will be given on Google. But some points you should remember in an objective statement is one, okay, short sentences, your 4 to 5 keywords. Keywords like, for example, thought leader, business visionary, okay? If you're a CEO, for example, okay? Thought leader, business visionary, business transformation specialist, okay? Organize, OD expert, all of these 4 to 5 keywords. These are functional keywords, basically. So if you're like a software developer, it should be like software developer. What else? You know, software analysis expert, okay, excellent team player. 4 to 5 keywords, try to bring it into the objective statement. How you do it is entirely up to you, just do that. And what you do is experience number of years should appear here ideally, okay, in the objective statement, like with 4+ years of experience, with 10+ years of experience, with 20+ years of experience, that should appear here. And your functional skills also, you can say functional plus technical skills. Okay, see, how you do primarily, I know this is like a lot, basically your short, let me say designation, okay, your designation, 4 to 5 keywords, experience, number of years, I'm talking about the number of years, and the functional plus technical skills. And if you have any monetary achievement, at least one monetary achievement. If you have, if you don't have monetary achievement, don't worry about it, but have at least one monetary achievement, you know, defined there. Okay. So for instance, you can say CEO with 20+ years of experience. Okay. 20+ years of experience working with, okay, you can also mention the name of the current company, working with CTS, okay, specialized in those 4 to 5 keywords, and then finally you can say with special focus on, and you can add a few more skills there, and full stop. Okay, then you can say generated 1 million US dollars, not 1 million, okay, handled businesses worth 100 million US dollars, generated revenue worth 50 million US dollars, something like that. This is just a vague example I'm giving. So this is for a senior level CV. I write more senior level CVs. That is why this is naturally coming out. The point is, if you're like in a, you know, at a lower level, then you have to tweak it accordingly. So make sure your designation, your 4 to 5 keywords, your experience number of years, your functional plus technical skills, your monetary achievement, at least one, if it is applicable, is coming there. Okay. So instead of monetary achievement, if you're like a junior level person, you can say these many projects handled, something like that, you know, handled. Or you can say I have been a part of projects worth 1 million US dollar. And directly or indirectly, if you have helped in some kind of value addition to it, that can be included. So I can only give you some vague examples, guys. Okay, this is depending on what I do for my clients. What is this? Associations? Verbs are gender neutral. Yes. Action verbs. I know, masculine verbs, feminine verbs. No. Don't get into masculine and feminine and all of that. Don't really bother that much about it. The verbs have to be action verbs. That is the only thing that's important. Action verbs are things like doable verbs. Okay, go and look for action verbs on action verbs. Just go and look for action verbs on Google. You will get a complete list of all the action verbs you can use. So just look for action verbs to use on resume. You'll find all of that. So write your resume with using action verbs. Okay. Okay. So this is for the you can say your designation. Sorry, your objective statement. Okay. Now next point is a summary. Summary has to be like 4 to 5 lines. Okay. Not 4 to 5 points. Or you can have maximum 7 points. Don't make it more than that. And summary maximum 7. Just have 4 to 5 points. That's it. 5 points is ideal. Just have 5 points which talks about your summary. Your entire career summary should be, you know, in that summary. Usually recruiters, what they do, they'll read only the summary sometimes. So some people, what they do, they will write the summary as a paragraph. Now what happens is when you write it as a paragraph, all the content is dumped into it. Okay, so recruiter will find it difficult to read. Some of the recruiters, they are not readers. Understand that. Okay, no, it is not a replacement. Covering letter is a separate document altogether. It is not a replacement for summary. So but yes, if you think you can include the entire summary in the covering letter, then you might as well not have a summary here. But always good to have a summary in the CV, not in the covering letter. So the summary have 4 to 5 points there, and don't exceed that too much. Be very crisp with the language. Make sure all your achievements are appearing there in points, in bits and pieces. Okay, not all your achievements, your major achievements. Major achievements should appear there in the summary. And also your personal flavor should appear in the summary, okay, of who you are, and make it in points. Don't dump it into paragraphs, because recruiters don't like reading paragraphs. Even I don't like reading paragraphs for that matter. Why recruiters? If you give me like 10 lines put together, everything like this stuff together, one is it's difficult for me to read. Okay, and in a rush I may just pick up some words from it. That's it. So if, for example, if I have say just 10 seconds to read a resume, and if I have to read a paragraph, I will not be able to read it anyway. But if you've written it one line each, it's very easy. And likewise for Google also, for Google or for the search engines, even for the ATS, if you write shorter sentences, it is very easy for it to index you faster. Okay, it is called indexing on Google. So like for example, on your LinkedIn profile, for example, if you've written shorter sentences, it will get indexed faster. The search engines will index you faster. So always write shorter sentences, properly give gaps, write it in points. Don't use too many bullet symbols. Wherever needed, use the bullet symbols. Okay, your CV should not have too many bullet symbols also. That's also important. Okay, skill set summary. Skill set summary is all those keywords you're going to use in your resume. So you don't have to, you can do some research for these keywords. You can go to Google and look for you know, the keywords which are used for. I'll give you a tool. Okay, it's called I'll give it to you here itself. Keywordtool.io. Okay, this tool is not for resume writers. Understand this. This is a tool which is used by SEO people who do search engine optimization. Okay, it is not for resume writers. So disclaimer, guys, don't go and tell others that I taught you one tool which is not used by resume writers. The point is, this is used by designers and SEO people who design websites basically. But why I'm giving you this tool is, this will give you a lot of keyword ideas. So just go to keywordtool.io, okay, and search your main keyword there. For example, if you're like, say, a chief executive officer, okay, just type chief executive officer there. It will give you a lot of ideas like CEO in India, CEO in USA, CEO in you know, Canada, and all of that. So obviously you can't implement that over here. But the point is, these are the most searched tool, highly searched, you know, searched keywords over there. So you'll have a fair idea of what people are looking for in the online space. So sometimes recruiters go to Google and search for these profiles. Okay, so these keywords can be partially placed in your resumes, but these keywords can be more used on your LinkedIn profiles. So if in case you want to balance both your LinkedIn and your resume, you can use this tool. This is good. And it can also give you more keyword ideas. That's the whole idea behind it. Okay. Okay. So work experience finally. Role. responsibilities and achievements. Always when you're talking about a role, divide it into responsibilities and achievements very clearly. Don't make it like too lengthy, and again, divide it into points properly. Give out information about team, how many people report into you, and whom do you report to. All of this has to be very clear. If you've been handling separate projects, okay, first put responsibilities, achievements on for the role on a whole, and then add projects separately. Some people don't know how to organize a CV itself. They will start from the project straight away. So the project is just one part of the role. Your role is broader. The project is just one part of your role in that organization. So the role has to be looked at as a macro level description, and below that, the project has to be one part of it. So don't just go on expanding about the project over there. Okay, if the recruiter is asking you, then speak about the project in detail when you're going for the interview. But when you're writing the resume, you have to give only a summary of that project. Don't give the entire project over there. If you're coming up with like a 5-page resume, it's up to you, then you can do that. But that should not spoil the length, and it should not exceed the length too much. That's why. Okay, so roles and response, achievements, company name, obviously important. Location, dates are obviously important. So these are things that you should not leave out. And as I said, what was that? Chronological, combination of chronological and functional. Always combine both and write. Never let the focus only be on chronology, or never let the focus only be on skills and achievements. It has to be a combination of both. So use both those methods to actually write. Education, degrees, diplomas, certifications, licenses. Okay, so degrees, diplomas, certifications, licenses, all that you have finished, even your training programs, some 1-day workshops, 2-day workshops, all of that also should be mentioned in the education section. This is important. You can also mention your scores. If you have topped the university or something, all of that has to be mentioned. Awards and accolades, you can have a separate section, and you can mention all the awards and accolades you have won. This is relevant for all stages. If you won an award as a CEO, it matters very much as a fresher if you won an award. So never feel shy to talk about all the awards and accolades you have won. Okay, talk in detail about it. When you go for interviews, boast about yourself. There's nothing wrong in it, because that is your achievement and you feel proud about it. So feel proud about it. Be confident about yourself. Overcome all the mind freaks. Overcome all the mind freaks. Okay. And there is nothing wrong in extrapolating a little bit, but okay, don't go overboard with extrapolation. Extrapolate a little bit about who you are and how you can add value to that company. And if they try to challenge you, okay, be willing to face the challenge and, be willing to conquer them. It is like a war zone. Okay. These days, finding a job is like a war zone. You're fighting with like 10 other competitors for the same role. So basically, you have to have that killer attitude over there. So have that killer attitude and don't really feel afraid of it. Just move ahead, surge ahead with confidence, and, with all your inner courage. Develop a lot of courage. Your life expands in proportion to your courage. So do different things, be unconventional, be very, very, out of the box. Don't be afraid to be out of the box at any level. Don't be too conscious. Be an action taker. Never be an activity doer. Okay. It is like only junior people do activities. Big people take actions, basically. So difference between activity and action, that is something. So be an action taker at any level. Extracurricular achievements, if applicable. Again, extracurricular depends on, what all you do, but always tell them that, this is my hobby. I do this, I do that. I go to different countries, and at least build the friendship. If you don't get the job, at least the recruiter may become your friend. Na? You never know. So maybe later on, 2 years later, you might sell something to him. So you never know, So if possible, take the email address, collect the email address of all the people you're meeting there. Try to sell them something else, if you're not able to sell yourself. So the point is, open up your mind and never be afraid of connecting to people. Establish the heart connect. That is a secret. Establish the heart connect. Please type in the comments, establish the heart connect. Heart. Okay. Talking about the heart. So if you establish the heart connect, okay, the environment, the company, the recruiters, the CEOs, the leaders, they will all connect with you to such an extent that they will definitely call you back and forth for an interview. So the heart connect should be the primary focus. The money and the salary should be the secondary focus. Always understand this. The money and the salary should be the secondary focus always. So that should come out in the way you're presenting yourself. One more thing, don't really underestimate yourself. Okay. For example, if you think you deserve 15 lakhs per annum for a job, don't go and tell them I will accept this job for 5 lakhs per annum. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that, you know, be flexible on the salary part. Okay. If you think the role is going to be interesting, if you think the role is going to give you more challenges and learning opportunities and growth opportunities, you express to them clearly that you're open even for accepting something if it is going to give you the challenge. Okay. And also some people might do a build up. Some people might do a build up in front of you, and they will say, I will give you this opportunity, I will give you that opportunity. Never trust an employer. Okay. Never trust an employer too much that you fall into their trap. So don't fall into an employer trap also. That is also important. So do the verification. See, just like how the employer has the right to do a background checking about you, you also have the right to do a background checking about the company. So please do all the background checking about the company and see if they are speaking the truth. Are they going to give them, are they going to give you the salary on time? All of this is very important. If the company is not really, don't get exploited at the hands of employer just because, you know, I am saying that, you know, the focus should not be on the money. So I'm saying, like, be very strong, be very courageous at the same time, you know, make sure that you're writing it. Now go to resumeworded.com. This is a site that most of the resume writers use. Okay, a lot of them use it. As much as I know, there are other tools also, but this is a website that can help you pretty much in you know, doing all the analysis. So I'll just show you how it works. Okay, so this is the guys, is it visible? Just tell me if it's visible. Are you able to see the browser? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it's asking what do you want to start with, right? So there are two things this is going to help you with. One is in scoring your resume. The other one is in scoring your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so many people use this for scoring their LinkedIn profiles, but for the resume also, this is a fantastic you know, tool basically. So you can go to your dashboard, or you can start with scoring my resume. So I'll just upload one sample resume for you and show you how it works. Okay, so you just have to go here and upload your resume. So I am going to upload a mid-level resume and see. Okay. Some mid-level, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if this is a mid-level resume. Okay, PDF nahi hai. Very good. This is just a random resume I'm uploading, and I'm showing you what exactly it's trying to. So see, it's like analyzing it overall based on all of that, all of these factors. Now again, guys, this is just a tool, you know, which works on artificial intelligence. So please use your own intelligence. Okay, our human intelligence is far more superior as compared to artificial intelligence. So why I'm saying this is because have the discretion. This can give you like a very low score for a very good resume at times, and sometimes it will give you a very good score for a very poor resume. So never depend on it entirely, but this can help as a support to you. Okay, so this lady's resume I wrote like God knows how many years back. This was possibly you know, I guess around 6-7 years back, and all of a sudden I happened to upload it. So today I was trying, you know, before really getting into this call, I just uploaded this one and tried, you know, what is the score, and I saw the score was just 21. Okay, now I'll show you how. Now the point is education. This is how a visual resume looks, by the way. So this is a proper sample of a visual resume, how it is designed in Photoshop. You can see, okay, this is how it looks, and see how well organized it is on the whole. And this lady did land a job with this resume, but the score is only 21. Okay, so as I said, there is no hard and fast rule, but it will give you all the factors that are needed for you to assess it. Okay, and you can make those changes easily. So it is going to, it talks about, you know, one, brevity, it talks about impact again. Okay, it tells you how many filler words found, what is the repetition level. Okay, sample resume bullet points. Okay, these are like some tips and guides. So where all you need the changes. For example, style. Okay, it says resume sections missing or unnecessary sections. So just go to fix and it will show you what is the section that is not needed. For example, okay, references, it says remove the references section, and it says this will look better. Now see, some people want the references section, some people don't want. So as I said, it is not depending on the writer alone, or what the writer alone wants to give the person. The person sometimes is demanding certain things, and that's why you have to give it to them. So there's absolutely no hard and fast rule. Again, I'm repeating. Okay, so this is just a tool which is going to help you in that. So it is saying that remove the references section and it will be get better. Okay, likewise it says a LinkedIn profile, the LinkedIn is the link is added, so it is very good. So you, or it says you might want to add it. Okay, it depends on what is there, what it is not there. It says review your summary section and make those changes. Okay, impact. Let's come to impact. It says quantifying impact, good use of metrics and numbers. Okay, so if you see here, achievements, most of the achievements here, I'm using the metrics and the numbers for her. She, I guess, I remember, if I remember right, she must be around 10, 11 years of experience at that point in time. So when I wrote it for her. So all the metrics are like more well properly defined. Okay, so quantifying impact, good use of metrics and numbers. Repetition, you should avoid repeating action verbs on your resume. Okay, one is usage of action verbs is important. Repeating the same action verbs is not recommended. So it says fix it. Okay, so it says strong unique action verbs show hiring managers that you have held different roles and skill sets. So how to write bullet points? See, it says overused action verbs: managed 3 times, received 4 times, managing 3 times, designing 5 times, implementing 3 times. So these are the changes that you need to make. And once you make these changes, your resume is absolutely perfect. And so go and look for the list of, so it also gives you the alternative. It says use analyzed instead of managing, use developed, directed, authored, prepared, introduced, implemented, collaborated, right? So is this cool, guys? Just type super cool in the comments. It's given you even more. The action verbs also it's giving you: coordinated, liaised, assessed, created, designed. It is a very cool tool, trust me. And the pro version is even more amazing. It will tell you everything. So you, as I said, you can actually go and start a business with this. You can actually start a resume writing business with this tool. Actually, if you have the pro version, it'll tell you, it's also highlighting where all it is used. It is so good. So if you really want to work as a resume writer, take up projects as a resume writer, you might as well make like 20,000-30,000 rupees extra in a month, by doing this. So it all depends on how you market your product and how you've created your website and how you're reaching out to people as a freelancer and, getting those clients. So that is a skill you'll have to learn then. But nonetheless, you can start making money also with this tool actually. So this tool is really, really good in many ways. And brevity. When we talk about brevity, okay, resume length. Your resume is slightly long, it says. So what can you do to shorten it? Okay, it's like 3 pages. Maybe I could have made it 2 pages. So again, 3 pages because this person wanted it. So sometimes you can't really convince people. Whatever they want, you have to give. So the point is, you need to have a proper trade-off between what you want to give and what they are asking for. So resume length, use of bullet points. See, break up paragraphs into bullet points. As I said, paragraphs are never preferred. Usually. Why? Because they are like complex. They look big sentences. So bullet points, total bullet points. We found too many bullet points on your resume. This is also not recommended. So using too many bullet points, not recommended. Bullet point length. Some bullets may not be the right length. Avoid using paragraphs. Okay. Filler words found. You should remove superfluous filler words from your resume. Go to Google and search for filler words. Okay. What are these fillers? Some of the the things here are pro. So you will have to buy the pro to do that. Likewise, let's come to style. It says resume sections, buzzwords or cliches. Okay, what are the buzzwords? You should remove vague buzzwords and cliches from your resume. For example, thought leader, proactive, and out of the box. Okay, understand one thing. Okay, although it says that these are the buzzwords, some of the buzzwords are important for certain profiles. So as I said, this is just an artificial intelligence tool. Okay, it is not like a human intelligence tool, because some of them expect you to use those words. Why? Because thought leader is a keyword. Understand this. So although it's calling it a buzzword, but it is also a keyword. So please make sure that you're balancing the words and the keywords usage properly, and use the keywords. Don't, just because resume worded is scoring you low, don't refrain from using those keywords. Please use them. Okay, thought leader, proactive, out of the box. Now these are industry expected words: out of the box, proactive, thought leader. So please use these. I will not recommend for you to remove this just because, you know, this is ranking you lower. Never make that mistake. Okay. And also see, the best part about this tool is it will give you before and after. Highly motivated individual with strong, whatever this is written. Now it's giving you an after sentence. So the pro version is even better. It'll give you tell you the entire CV. So you can actually really go and, you know, use all of this. And it also says need more relevant examples, sample resume line section. You can go to this. All of this will come with the pro version primarily, and skills it says is excellent. So this CV would have gotten shortlisted because of the skills section. Why? Because these are all the highly searched keywords. So you can go to places like Naukri, you can go to places like LinkedIn, and look for all those profiles with that match this job position, and look for keywords that are highly searched. Or you can look for keywords and see what kind of profiles are appearing there. You know, you can get, and keywordtool.io is something you can use. So and then look for all those templates that are doing very well and appearing on Google top searches. So all of this put together is what you need to use your subjective expertise and do it. Okay. Resume writing is a very, very subjective work. Very, very subjective work. There is nothing called a perfect resume. Always remember this. So the individuality, the honesty, the uniqueness, the kind of words, the kind of keywords, the kind of experience, and then the kind of tantrums with which the person throws. You know, many people will throw a lot of tantrums when they come to you for resume. They will say, I need this, I don't need this. I need this on the right hand side. I don't need this on the left hand side. So give them some coaching. Tell them that this should be on the left hand side only. So always make sure that you're also educating the person who's coming to you, if at all you plan to work as a freelancer. And likewise, educate yourself also. Okay. Whatever work is working in the market, strictly follow it. Strictly follow it, and also be flexible to, okay, this is a little contradictory, but strictly follow it, but also be flexible. Okay. And keep improvising continuously. And this tool, one tool is enough. If you have a pro version, this one tool is enough. Okay. And you don't need any other tool. Actually, this tool itself is so overwhelming. Once you start discovering all the different aspects, you know, that is asking you to correct at different levels, it will give you different, different improvisations to make. So this one tool is much more than enough. Many businesses, top businesses are using this tool, and many people, top influencers on LinkedIn are using this tool. Okay. Many people who are high level influencers, they are actually using this tool to in many creative ways actually. So how creative, innovative you are in using the tools, you know, that's also equally important. So just do that, and I'll come to the guys. Was this useful? Just type useful in the comments. I leave it to you to go and, you know, do a thorough research on this tool, resumeworded.com. And if you really plan to take up resume writing for yourself or for others, or for you know, or for anybody to whom you're going to give to write resume for, this is the tool. You can even recommend it to people because it's a very good tool, and most of the businesses are using it. It will give you alternative sentences also. They provide you, and I think they come with monthly charges and etc. for the pro version, and it's worth it. Only thing is, you'll have to sit and work on all those points they're asking you to, you know, improvise on. So that's very important. Okay. Finally, kaun sa phone baj raha hai? 1 second. Huh? Okay. So how to distribute your resume? There's some ideas to distribute your resume. So job sites, according to me, okay, in India, you distribute it to these, that's enough. Monster.com, Naukri, Shine, Indeed, Times Jobs, and free resume sites. Okay. The first 5, most of you would know. So if you are in a plan to distribute a resume, you just use these. If you're going to, if you want to promote it further, go to free resume sites. Look for free resume sites on Google. There are many free resume sites wherein they will simply have a database of resumes. You can upload it there also. The benefit is you never know, your CV might get discovered by someone who's looking for it, and you know, you may appear on top of Google searches because your LinkedIn URL will also be there. So if your URL gets ranked higher, you know, you may get discovered through that also. So just do that. Social media sites. Create a free website using Wix.com and upload CV there. This is a good way of starting so that you don't have to spend any money. Just go to Wix.com, www.wix.com, and upload your CV there. Okay. Provide the link on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Whatever provide the link of wix.com, not your don't upload your CV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all, and because that will look weird, right? You're uploading images of your CV on Facebook. So the point is, give the link of the Wix site over there so that people can go and see your CV also. Sometimes what you can do is you can have a personal blog, okay, and you can have a link saying my resume on top, so people can go and access your resume separately. So which means when they land on your Wix site, it will mean not be like your actual resume there. It will be like your blog. They will read it, and then if they want to hire you, they'll go to Wix and see. Why I'm giving you these ideas is because I help people in starting their own content writing business, basically. So because most of you are writers here, if you can actually use these ideas to become freelance content writers also, or even start your own content writing business or whatever you want to do. So all of this comes very handy, okay? And when it comes to LinkedIn, upload it straight. Or what you can do is go to slideshare.com and create a PPT with your professional portfolio and your CV, your CV images with professional portfolio, embedded into LinkedIn, and again spread the word, okay? Okay, and create a video slideshow on YouTube and distribute it. Create a video slideshow on YouTube and distribute it. That can be easily done. So start your own YouTube channel, upload it there. It's just a creative way of doing it. Create a video with you presenting yourself and explaining your profile. Send the link with resume to prospective employers on LinkedIn. This is a great way of doing it. It is called micro video creation. Okay, create a micro video of your profile wherein you're sitting like this, okay, in front of your camera. Just use the Windows Movie Maker, have like a webcam, or just record on your phone itself. Your phone itself is enough. Just talk about yourself for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, okay, in that video, and say that, hi, Mr. So-and-so. If it's specifically for someone, name them. Otherwise, just say that, hi, HR manager, my name is Nandini. I do all of this. This is my background. I worked in these companies. Or just a 4 to 5 minute video, send it along with your resume. That will create more impact than sending your resume only. Okay. Why? Because it's a video, you have spoken, and sorry, it is almost like a first level interview, right? Although the person has not even asked you to, or called you for an interview, but you have already answered some of the questions over there. So for example, if during the interview, say the recruiter is going to ask you that, explain about the first project to me. Okay. Say for example, in the interview, this is one question you're going to face in the interview. Explain about your first project. Now, if you have answered that question in the video, even before they have asked you, they have already got the answers, correct? Am I right? So you've already got the answer. So what happens is that will pre-frame the recruiter even before you have landed the job, or even before you have been shortlisted for the role. Okay. So a video creates more direct impact. So send a video along with your resume and see how it works. Okay. And maybe you can create a video resume also. So this is almost like creating a video resume, right? Almost. But a video resume, again, many people have started doing it these days. I think so. I'm not sure. But a video resume can be created, and why not? So you can actually make it very interesting. If you know how to edit videos also, you can even add in more images, add in more portfolio pictures, make it more interesting, work on it. It is just like, that 4 to 5 minute video is going to be your statement that it is going to go out to the world in to the recruiters. So upload it on YouTube, embed it, get the link, embed it on your Wix site. Okay, get the link, forward it to the be creative. As I said, just be creative. Okay, there is no stopping you when it comes to promoting yourself. Only when you're writing the resume, you have to be technical. But when you're promoting yourself, who is stopping you? You can promote it the way you want. So get creative. Think about all the places where you can upload your CV and do it. That will create a backlink to your resume. Okay, in SEO, search engine optimization, backlinks are important for ranking your site higher. So if you create backlinks on other people's sites, sometimes you never know, your CV may come up during searches, and you might land an opportunity. So there's something called aboutme.com. You can create a create a profile there instead of Wix site, and you can create simultaneous profiles in different places and do it. Okay. So as I said, when you're promoting yourself, there is no limitation. You can easily do that. Okay. Distributing via consultants or sending it yourself via LinkedIn is a great option. And as I said, sending it via LinkedIn, when you're doing that, send the video also, send the resume also. Okay. And send the website link also, so that the recruiter will be overwhelmed. Okay. Overwhelm the recruiter. There's nothing wrong. Recruiter should realize that this person has got something beyond what I'm expecting. okay, from this person. And if you send a nice interesting video, you can do that. See what I did for my book. I'm writing one book, okay. So it is on digital entrepreneurship. So I wanted Dr. Kiran Bedi to write the foreword for the book, okay. Although she refused to write it, that's a different story. But that's because of because she wanted me to talk about, you know, COVID charity, which I refused to do. So because I refused, she also refused to write the foreword. So I'll be approaching her for the next one, for the next book. So what I did, I sent her 2 messages, no reply. Okay. Third time what I did a video, and I sent the video, and I sent the complete book's manuscript, and she started replying back. And people are like, how is she even replying to you? You know, she doesn't even know you. So the point is, why she replied back is because of the video. So create those micro videos, take a chance, go out, create the heart connect. Creating that heart connect with a video is much more easier than, you know, creating the heart connect with just a textual resume, basically. So go and do that, guys. In fact, on Naukri, when you get into the Naukri applying job application section, many of the recruiters have mentioned their LinkedIn URLs. Go to LinkedIn, connect with those people over there, create the heart connect, and stalk them. Okay, follow up with them till they are forced to see your profile and your video and watch your video and actually call you up. Okay, so the video method works very, very well in making people respond to you and actually, you know, taking it forward. So the thing is, I've used the same technique with many other people, and it's working with many other people. So this is a very good technique, and please use it. Okay. So at every level, you have to use it in a different way. Please remember that. Okay. Like if you're using it for networking, the video has to be different. If you're using it for branding, the video has to be different. If you're using it to find a job, the video has to be different. So, but then get into this habit of making videos. It's nonetheless very, very advantageous to you in many ways. So connect with consultants, specific countries and industries, and send it across. Okay, look for consultants in specific countries. You can find them using LinkedIn, or you can find them using Google. Send it. Running ads, if you have the money. At times you can actually run ads. How you can do it is, like, you can create a product to sell on your website, and you can bring them there, and your resume also, you know, by default, if your resume is on the sidebar, they will go and click there, and they might as well have a look at your resume, and the ranking will go up. Once the ranking goes up, the searchability will increase on Google, and people may find you, you know, more faster. This is an indirect way of doing it, but you can do that. Of course, don't run ads saying, I need a job, please help me. It shouldn't be like that. Okay, please understand that. Okay, I'll show you one post, you know, one fake post which people have been making on LinkedIn these days. It is pathetic. I don't know why people are doing that, but some people are doing that. That is something you should never do. Okay, easiest, respond to jobs advertised on LinkedIn with CV. Okay, respond to jobs advertised on LinkedIn with CV. This is the very easiest way out, because there are a lot of jobs advertised there. So do it. Okay, the thing is how much action you're taking. Your speed of getting your next job depends on how much action you're taking and how diligently you're doing it, how many hours you're spending. So just be tirelessly, you know, focusing on your next opportunity if you really want it. So buy LinkedIn Premium for job seekers and see the best you can make out of it. There's a LinkedIn Premium account for job seekers, which gives you some extra features to reach out to more number of recruiters and all. So that is something you can always use. It's always available. And cold call companies and share resume with HR managers via email. Find it from contact us page. So you can go to these you know, consultancy websites. If you don't have money to spend on, you know, giving it to consultant, they may ask for money, right? So if you don't have that money to spend, generate the leads yourself. You can generate the leads yourself by going to websites of these consultancy companies. Go to the contact us page. They will have this info at whatever, or contact us for jobs at whatever. Just go and send the mail to these people, and this is how it's work. So I think all of this is like very easy thing to do, and I'm sure many of you might be doing it already. But try this video method. It's slightly new. Many people don't do it, but it works very, very well. Okay, so it works well, and you might find an opportunity much faster than you may be expecting actually with this method, the video method. So it's called the micro videos method. Very good and very nice. And people are basically, I use it to get my sales leads online. So sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. So it depends again. So if you're a great writer, you may not need a video, but if you add a video, it's good. Okay. So this was about CV distribution. Now this is the final thing. Okay. Okay. Positive energy factors around your resume. So as you said, your resume, okay, it's also an energy statement about who you are. Okay. So the higher the positive energy on your resume, okay, the higher chances it will get shortlisted faster. This is a very, very intangible intangible, unmeasurable point. You can't measure the energy on your resume. Okay. But if you infuse some good energy on your resume, it will get, uh, it will get searched faster. Okay. Cold call. Okay. Cold call is nothing but just go to websites, website contact us pages. Okay. And send your resume to them. That's it. So you're making like a cold call. That's all. You're making like a cold call, a cold effort to reach out to recruiters who are not actively recruiting. So if they turn out to be someone who are looking for those kind of profiles, they might as well call you. Okay. So setting the intention before sleeping and after waking up. Okay. Pray or set the intention, touch your heart and say that, I should get this opportunity. That's all you need to do. Attitude of just, it's a breathing exercise. Just do some small 5-minute breathing exercise and, just set the intention that you should find this job within like 20 days or 30 days. And it usually manifests faster before sleeping and after waking up. Why? Because you are in the alpha state. Alpha state is a state of relaxation. So manifestation happens in a state of relaxation. Those of you who are trainers and coaches here, if any of you here, you will know that manifestation, okay, manifestation is coming true of your desires. Your desires come true faster if you're not in a stress state. When you're in a stress state, your manifestation will take time. But if you're in a relaxed state of mind, your manifestation is much more faster. So before sleeping and after waking up, early morning, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., if you pray or if you meditate for 5 minutes and, set out the intention, okay, you have to let out the intention, tell the universe, I want this opportunity. There are more higher chances it will find you faster. Okay. The universe will find that opportunity for you faster. So these are secrets of manifestation, mindset game. Okay. Attitude of gratitude. Thank the universe even before you have landed the opportunity. So thank the universe, and say thank you to the universe or to the God you pray or whatever, saying that, thank you for getting me this opportunity. I'm working towards it. Please speed up the process. So ask the universe to speed up the process and it will. Okay. Writing affirmations. Affirmations are belief statements. Okay. Wherein your mind is believing that within the next 21 days, you're going to find your next job opportunity. So say that, so for example, it's like if you want to be a project manager in the next 20 days, okay, then for example, today is 11th. So the next 20 days, for example, if it is 31st, you say, you have to write an affirmation saying, I am a project manager by 31st July 2020. Okay, so these are I am affirmations. Just go to YouTube and look for I am affirmations. I am affirmations. Okay, so I am a project manager by 31st July 2020. I am a project manager. So what will happen is your mind will register that and it will automatically make you to work towards it. And once you work towards it, you will start implementing all these ideas and your manifestation will be much more faster. Okay, trust me, the mindset game works wonders for people. Even more than the content of your resume and your all those words and keywords, sometimes the mindset game will speed up your process and accelerate your growth much faster. So please be very clear in your mind and be very focused. Okay, we become what we think about. Your thoughts should always be focused on what you want, and never have the frustration or the desperation. Never work out of desperation. You should have positive reasons. For example, if you're saying that after 20 days, I will be project manager, write down a list of 10 points why you think you deserve to be a project manager. Write down all those 10 positive reasons. So if your positive reasons are good enough, okay, the universe will manifest it for you. But if the reasons are not good enough, okay, if you're saying I'm in dire need of money, please help, please help, please help, you're pushing the universe away. So you have to tell the universe that, look, I deserve this, I have these skills. I'm willing to go and stretch beyond, 8 hours of work for companies. Okay. I'm willing to work in teams. I am a team player. I am an excellent, confident human being. Okay. I'm an excellent speaker, orator, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay. All of these things, I am highly skilled in project management. Okay, I have created revenue worth. Just see the vibration. When you say I am confident, I am this, when you use those positive words, it will create positive energy. It will give you more motivation. But if you operate from the mode of doubt, then the results will also be equally doubtful. So this is the kind of coaching I do for my clients also. And they get grilled and finally they are pushed into getting a job. But this is how you have to push yourself in getting yourself a job. I'm just adding this because this can help you. Okay. Consistent improvisation. Send your CV to 5 top recruiters. You can try this method after you finish up, after you do all the tweaks and stuff. Your mindset game has to continuously be there until you find your next opportunity. Okay, now for improvising on it, what you can do is you can forward your CV to top 5 recruiters or whatever, and you can take their feedback. And if they're giving you some examples, again, don't be overwhelmed with it, because every recruiter will tell you a different story. I am telling you with experience. Okay, every recruiter will find 10 different faults with your CV. So don't get demotivated with that. If you think you'll get demotivated, then don't send it to them for feedback. So if you have the courage to take feedback, send it to them. They will give you feedback. Take the feedback, sit and analyze which feedback you should implement and which you should reject. So be bold, brave, reject the feedback which you don't like. Very simple. So your heart will tell you what is good and what is not. So just optimize the points and make the changes. As I said, don't take the points as is, optimize them, because recruiters are also human beings, and even they make mistakes many times in assessment of CV. Let me tell you. Okay, so machines also make mistakes, recruiters also make mistakes. So your thing is filter it off. Whatever is working, whatever is not working, what do you think for you as a person will work? Your heart will tell you. Just go by your heart and do that. So that's it. Okay, so finally, there's no perfect human being, therefore no perfect resume. Remember this. Be kind and compassionate to yourself. Give yourself time, give recruiters time, give HR managers time. Never operate from the energy of desperation, never operate from the energy of frustration. That will frustrate you more. We become what we think about. So never don't become frustration. Okay, the point is you have to don't never get frustrated. Give yourself time and look at the market condition in today's scenario. For example, whether you get frustrated or whether you don't get frustrated, or whether you've lost your job, there is some different factor which is playing on all of us. So always always develop your skills. Use that time constructively rather than focusing and pushing things too much. Okay, so just let your individuality be highlighted. Be confident about everything you are including your resume, and that's it. Okay, this is all. Okay, guys, now let's come to the Q&A. Okay, I'll stop this share. Okay, I'll just share one link with you, and you can go and join this. 1 minute. Where is the screen? Okay. Okay. Okay, it's a small mini course, which I've developed. I'm just giving you the link and you can just go and enroll yourself. It's a free course. I'm going to be adding more, more videos there eventually. It's a free course. You can just go join that if it helps you. I'm talking about LinkedIn profile. So a few things which have, maybe I'll add some templates over there for you to go and have a look. Okay, just save this link. You can do it later. Right now, let me come to the questions now. Okay. One is the cold call thing, right? So, okay, the name of the software using for this presentation. Software I'm using for this presentation. Okay, see, this is a tool called MindMeister. Okay, there are many more tools like this, and MindMeister. There is one more called M8. So all of you can use a combination of all of this. I use a combination of all of this randomly. I think I'm using MindMeister only, but go and look for these and you will find. These are mind maps. Okay. Okay. Is there any way to understand? I'm just losing out on the questions. 1 second. Okay. PowerPoint is always there, by the way. Okay. Is there any way to understand the salary? Yeah, there's something called Glassdoor, right? Glassdoor, you can go to glassdoor.com and you can look for the salary, right? Current salary in the market for that particular role that's ongoing. So Glassdoor is very famous. Even websites like Indeed and all, they'll tell you what is the current salary. Even on LinkedIn, I think they've come up with a section where they talk about the current salary ranges for specific roles. So, but I typically use Glassdoor. There are other tools also. I did come across a few tools last week. Someone was talking about it. Some new tool, he was mentioning. Okay, I don't remember that at this point in time. Just go and look for Glassdoor. Glassdoor is good enough. Or just go to Google and search for what is the current salary in the market for this role. You'll find many articles and many things. Okay, consistent improvisation. what I'm trying to say, consistent improvisation is, like after writing a resume, if you feel that new ideas are popping up in your head, or say, for example, you're looking at some JDs that you're applying for, and if you think a few things can be added here and there, that is what I mean by consistent improvisation. That's all. So make those small tweaks from time to time is what I'm trying to say. So make those tweaks, again upload it on Naukri, again send it, so you can do that. Again, it depends. So you need not make it very frequently, but maybe every 3 months or every 6 months. Every 6 months you can do that at least, if not every 3 months. So if you're not able to find a job, so but do it. Okay, do it, because you as a person is improving, your tasks are improving, everything is improving. So make sure that you are just open to doing that. It's not mandatory that you have to do it. Okay, and one more question. Tool for display of metrics or graphs in a resume. I don't know which tool is used for this. Okay, display of metrics, or use MS Excel. Use MS Excel. It has like those graphs and statistics and all, right? So many people use that only. They'll just use MS Excel for designing it and copy paste and put it on the designed resume. This is what even graphic designers use, by the way. There may be other tools. I don't know. I use only MS Excel. Yeah. Ambition box. Okay. What is ambition box? It tells a salary, is it? Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Gayatri, done. It's done like... Oh, sorry. I have to... Okay. I've just unmuted all.
It's just a quick time check. We are past that time, well past that time. So yeah, I think you've answered most of the generic questions. Specific questions, I don't think we'll be able to take up in this session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I, on behalf of all the participants, Nandini, I am very glad I signed up for the session today. So thank you very much. And it was indeed a very in-depth and it covered depth and breadth. So I'm very happy that we organized the session for our community here. And thank you very much. We have given us a lot of actionable points, a lot of new stuff. I've noted down everything. So it's not enough you can't really store it in your head beyond a point, right? So
yes.
I've taken note of everything. So thank you very much. And hopefully we see you soon in another session.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Gayatri.
Yeah. So bye, everyone. You have a good weekend. And thanks, Nandini. Have a very good weekend yourself.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you. Take care, guys. See
ya.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Tata.